How to drift the Karin Futo. If you want to be sliding like an initial D protagonist, this is the ultimate guide for you, as this video will give you the tune and the technique that you need to master the Karin Futo. If you want to take this 86 to the next level, make sure to stick around and drop a like and sub if you enjoy. If you're looking for a place to drift with people or to join chill car meets, check out our crew's Discord server, which is linked down below. But let's hop straight into the guide. Now, to start us off, we need to understand a little bit about the Karin Futo and how to drift it so we can take it to its full potential. The car has got pretty low power, so that is going to make it difficult to drift at high speeds, but this comes with the advantage of making the car incredibly controllable and capable of very smooth lines. It's best suited for smaller courses, usually around tighter corners and tracks from low to medium speeds, and this means it is a very forgiving car, and for beginner drifters, the Futo can be an amazing place to start your drifting journey. For those of you who are looking for more of an exciting drifting experience, you can also get that with the Futo, especially if you put this thing on low grips. To drift the Futo, you can use all sorts of drifting styles. It's a pretty versatile car, but two main ones I'm going to be focusing on for this video are single gear drifting and drifting with the mid-drive speed boost or double clutch trick. Now, I'm going to give a brief explanation of what they are and also a tutorial on how to do them so you can give them a try for yourself. Now, what you're doing with single gear drifting, essentially you're drifting at a low speed while you keep engaging the handbrake over and over to keep the car in a certain rev range so the wheels keep spinning and you never gain your traction back. This is a great way to start drifting for a beginner, to really use those lower speeds to kind of train you how to use skills that you'd need for drifting at a higher level, such as counter steering and throttle control. So the way I would recommend you do this, take the car, go ahead and start driving at a kind of low speed between first and third gear. And by the way, to check and know what gear you're in, if you hear this noise, that means your car is shifted up, so just keep count of that. I'd recommend not letting it shift up more than twice, or this is going to be very difficult. Keep it in kind of first or second and you'll be fine. So for this, what you want to do is kind of have it at a low speed, and what you're going to do is you're going to tap the handbrake and you're going to drive forward a little bit. You'll see the wheels spin, some tire smoke come out of the bottom, and then you're going to, after a couple of seconds, tap the handbrake again. With these trails you see on the floor, like the tire marks, when you think that's about to end, you need to tap the handbrake again and then keep going with the gas. If you keep doing this over and over, you will not gain your traction back and the wheels will keep spinning, so you will be able to slide at a low speed pretty well. So as you can see with this clip, every time I'm getting that little burst of flame from my exhaust, that is when I'm engaging the handbrake to keep sliding. So you just want to engage it every couple of seconds like so, and what you can do is take this to a course like on a track or on a parking lot, and then what you can do is take yourself around an obstacle like a lamppost or something, engage this trick while trying to counter steer around the object. To counter steer around something, what you're going to need to do is you want to kick the back end out, you're going to turn into the corner, and you're going to wiggle your left stick left and right to adjust for the corner or the obstacle you're going around. Relative to the obstacle, the more you turn in, as in you, let's say our obstacle's on our left and we're turning left around it, the further in you turn, the greater angle you'll get, but also the closer you'll move to the object. The further right I would turn, the less angle I would get, but also the further away from the object I would move. Counter steering is just getting a balance between the two, so you want to wiggle both left and right to get a smooth line around the object you're moving around. So to drift with a little bit more finesse and at those higher speeds, you're going to need to use the mid-drive speed boost. So to engage the mid-drive speed boost or double clutch trick, you want to speed the car up to about second gear and listen for the revs to where it's about to shift up into the next gear. At this point, you need to do the following process very quickly. You want to let off of your throttle, tap the handbrake, let off the handbrake, and then tap and hold down on the throttle again and keep accelerating. If you do this very quickly, you'll notice the car slow down a second before it shoots forwards with some backfire and a massive loss of traction and wheel spin. If you do this just before you enter a corner and engage it again while in the middle of a corner, you can chain drifts together very easily, and drifting at higher speeds becomes very easy. It's just a process of doing this over and over and molding together those skills of counter steering, throttle control, and the mid drive together to be able to pull these kinds of drifts off. Before we move on to the tune, there's one last thing we'll need to keep in mind with this car, which is stancing. To truly let the 86 slide, you're gonna have to stance it, as it massively reduces the amount of grip the car has. So to go ahead and stance your car, you wanna take a rifle or sniper rifle and shoot the rear wheels at this point here. You're gonna keep shooting until you see the body physically drop down 2 times, and you're gonna repeat this process for every single wheel. Now for the front wheels, I would recommend shooting at this position here, as it will manage to lower the car without damaging the engine. Once you've lowered the car on all 4 sides, you should notice a massive difference in the amount of traction, and it should be a lot less grippy. And now onto the tune itself. So I'm going to run you through all of the performance upgrades that you need to go ahead and put on this car to get it drifting to its full potential. There are a couple of nuances and things you can change, which I will highlight when we get to, but overall it is pretty simple to tune this. This isn't like Car X level tuning, but it can still make a huge difference if you don't do it right. So let's hop straight into it and let me know what you think of it down below. First things first, for the brakes, I'm going to recommend you just leave them stock. Upgrading your brakes is just going to have the effect of slowing your car down a bit too much if you do use your brakes at any point to slow down. It's not used a ton, so it won't hurt you too much, but I don't really see a point of putting them on. As a quick note on armor doesn't directly impact your ability to drift, but increasing armor will decrease cosmetic damage and reduce the likelihood that if you crash, you'll damage your engine or wheels, which could affect your ability to drift. This has the trade-off of taking longer to stance, so you can choose whatever you prefer. I tend to go with 20%. For your engine, go ahead and max that out to EMS level 4, as it will give the car more power and allow you to drift a lot easier. For your spoiler, you want to keep it stock. Equipping a spoiler is going to increase traction, which is going to make drifting a lot harder. In terms of suspension, you want to slam it all the way down with that competition level suspension. The lower the car is, the easier it will be to slide and the less grippy it will be once it's stanced, so put it as low as possible. Your transmission will vary depending on how you plan to drift the car. If you want to drift at high speeds, I would recommend the race transmission to get more power out of the mid-drive speed boost, or if you're going to be using single gear drifting, use the stock transmission, as it will take a lot longer to change gear and it will make it a lot easier to stay in the rev range you need to be able to pull off that style of drifting. Now I have covered both of these methods earlier on in the video, but if you would like a full in-depth guide on how to drift in GTA Online with everything you need to know from the absolute basics all the way to drifting those higher powered cars at those very high skill levels, I'd recommend checking out my guide on that, linked in the top right and the description after this video ends. Just like the engine, you want to slap that turbo on so you can give yourself more power and more wheel spin to those rear wheels. It is going to help massively with your drifting. In terms of your tire enhancements, do not equip the bulletproof tires. They'll prevent your car from being stanced and will make drifting a lot more difficult. Now, the standard and low grip, it's really your choice. Standard is more attainable to more people, so you can drift perfectly fine on those, but if you have the option, the low grip tires are the way to go in my personal opinion, and they do make the car a lot more fun. All of the clips with the red and white Futo you see here have been on standard tires, as it is the most accessible and that is what the build has been based around, but the low grip tires do enhance the drifting ability significantly and make drifting a lot more fun at those higher speeds. So if you can put them on, go for it, but don't think for a second because you don't have them you can't drift this car. Standard tires will still do you right. From this point, all of the other modifications you can put on this car are purely cosmetic and will not hinder your ability to drift in any way, so you can really choose whatever you like. That is going to be it though for the tune and the video, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, drop a like and sub down below, and for more drifting content check out our playlist in the top right. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day.